appreciate you all showing up today. I appreciate it. Thank you. I do appreciate all of you all coming together. We do have some exciting news. In fact, hold on a second. The legislators don't mind lining up back behind me. I really appreciate that. And Mark Martin for Secretary, if you don't mind. We have a couple legislators, one that I know is on their way, and a couple of them that had other things going on, so they weren't able to be here, but I do appreciate them. With them standing behind me, I don't feel like I'm quite so long. So. I do appreciate the supporters showing up. Ted Cruz's campaign for president has been real exciting, and primarily it's been real exciting because it's a grassroots campaign. You know, there's individuals all over the country, and especially in Arkansas, who are real excited about his campaign. So the supporters showing up to be an encouragement is great. What we'll do, kind of the schedule is I'll speak just a little bit to you all, and then we're going to have Secretary of State Mark Martin come up and speak with you all just a little bit, and then we are going to close out and I'll answer any questions that you all may have, and then we'll go from there. I really, in doing this, when we were getting the endorsements coming in, it really wasn't a big job on my part at all, because essentially the individuals who are endorsing Senator Ted Cruz have one thing that's very much in common. They all have a focus that tends to be back on their district with their people. They're the kind of people who would rather be in their district than they would rather be in Little Rock. And they're also the kind of people who the political flow is not necessarily the direction that they go. They tend to have very, very bold and strong stances, and a lot of them actually came to me and asked me about endorsing. And so, you know, my job in gathering these endorsements was really not a very difficult thing, because there's some really remarkable individuals who came out and endorsed Senator Ted Cruz. And I think that's a good testament of the senator. He's also that type of guy who's focused on the constituents, focused on the citizens, and not focused on DC, not focused on the government institutions or the power being centrally located anywhere. I myself have come to endorse Senator Ted Cruz because of the fact that he is an individual who's been bold and been willing to take a stand. He told the people in Texas that what he was going to do before he ever got elected, and then he went and he did it. Even to his own hurt, you know, when he stood against the amnesty bill of the Gang of Eight, you know, it was something that most of the power establishment all over the country was really pushing for. Most of the lobbyists were really pushing for that. Yet he was willing to take a stand against that. When he campaigned in Texas, he told them that he would stand against it. And then when he went to DC, he stood against it. And those type of behaviors over and over again, we saw that in the Senate. And it cost him. What it cost him was the support of the DC cartel, of the DC establishment. But he was willing to fight, and he was willing to take a punch and keep going. And you saw the same behavior when he was arguing before the Supreme Court. There's no man that's better prepared to pick the next Supreme Court justice than Senator Ted Cruz, because this man who's went before the Supreme Court has fought that battle, and he has won. And so I am excited to have the ability to publicly endorse Senator Ted Cruz, and I appreciate all these legislators and the Secretary of State who are willing to come and stand with me in doing that. I actually made a promise that we're going to add some more information on the trip this Saturday, and I had a lot of really good information, but all of that is in flux and all of that's changing. One thing that I found for sure in dealing with a national campaign, especially one that on election day on March 1st, we're going to have 10 different states that will vote, but it can be kind of exciting, but it also can be kind of difficult to get things nailed down. But the plan is this weekend, he is actually going to come in, and we're going to have an event here in Little Rock on Saturday night. So we'll have an event here in Little Rock on Saturday night, and then he'll be in Northwest Arkansas Sunday morning. And then outside of that, we may have some other events or things that we may be scheduling, but at this point, everything else is not necessarily nailed down. And when we get more details, we'll make sure that we get that information out to the press. But I'm excited that this is the weekend before the vote. This is the weekend before Super Tuesday, and we're going to get him for 2 or 3 events in the state of Arkansas, which is incredible. But, you know, you add on top of that, this would be, if we get him for 2 or 3 events, this would be the 5th and 6th and 7th event in the state of Arkansas, which is pretty incredible that we've had a presidential candidate who has cared enough about Arkansans to be here for several events come here this the third time that he would have been in the state and all these different events that he's had and to actually make contact and touch the people and the citizens of the state of Arkansas. So, having said all that, I really appreciate Secretary of State Mark Martin for being willing to stand up and be a leader and endorse Senator Ted Cruz. I'm going to let him come up and speak for just a little bit to y'all. Secretary.